Okay, what is up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well this Monday morning. As always, guys, if you're enjoying the content, please be sure to drop a like on the stream. It does really help out. Make sure you subscribe as well. And make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future, because, of course, you will be notified. Make sure you do check out the Telegram link in the description. Make sure you also check out the Discord link. That is linked at the top of the chat. You cannot miss it. Make sure you join that for discount opportunities closer to launch date, which is fast upon us. And of course, make sure you join it if you want to stay in touch with any discussions about different trading opportunities. But guys, welcome back to the stream. William, good morning. I hope you are well. Welcome. Sam, good morning. Hope you're doing good. Welcome back to another stream. Dorcas, good morning. Welcome to another stream. So yeah, as always, any pairs you guys are looking at, feel free to let us know. But yeah, I mean, we haven't seen as much movement as we did last Monday morning. Last Monday morning, the price was all over the shop. Things are a lot more calmer this week. Good morning, FX Wolf. Welcome to the stream. John, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Still waiting for Euro Yen retest. Yeah, I mean, I think the yen pairs are kind of in the same situation. We've had some nice pullbacks over the week, well, not over the weekend, over last week. And again, looking for price to kind of reach that resistance, reach that level that will send price down. And I like how price is moving because it's quite slow. It's quite corrective, which means that this move will at some point most likely find a top. It may not necessarily be to sell off like it did in previous weeks, but at least give us a down move to work with to profit from. So a pair like Euro Yen, it is in an area which I would short from. It's just a little bit choppy right now. I'm trying to see if we can push up one more time, then get the sell. I do like the area up here, but it's just very, very far away. Let me know which level, which area you're looking to catch a retest or looking to sell from. These are my two levels which I'm interested in, 169,300 and 165. Like I said, we're already trading in this area, but to try and catch that short, I kind of want price to push up closer to these highs and then see what we can do around here. Then I'll get a stop loss above the high and then try and take advantage of a move, maybe back down to this level, break even, and then we see if price can continue from there on. But the idea is to look to try and catch that next level high and see if I can trail it, trail some stop losses back to that low. And that's pretty much the same strategy, the same setup for all of these yen pairs in general: CAD yen, pound yen, New Zealand yen, Aussie yen, dollar yen. Some I do prefer a little bit more than others, but yeah, generally speaking, I'm looking at the same thing. Dollar yen I like a lot. If this was to make a bit of a move higher, back to 149, again, I would see what we can do from there. 164.011, where is that? 164.011. Okay, so you're looking roughly around here. So yeah, still got a bit of a way to go before we get there. And again, I think it's a healthy pullback as well because we had such a big drop. So looking for 164 is not a bad area just in terms of having a decent pullback of such a big bearish leg. These are the two areas I'm looking at. One has nice confluence with the 0.5. Nice ones lining up with 0.786. But, I mean, you can draw the fib from the high over there. And then we're nowhere near the 50 if that's the case. 50 will be all up there. So, yeah, a pullback is underway. And I'm expecting a lower high somewhere. I'm going to see how price reacts with this first level. So far, I'm not interested just yet. But if we do go and break higher, back to 165, then I'll be looking for some shorts up there. But yeah, the plan is very much still the same as it has been for the past couple of weeks. And again, apart from CHF JPY, which has kind of had a bit of a move down, but nothing crazy, all the yen pairs are kind of looking semi-bullish on the lower time frames as they're kind of having their pullback. So if we can find that high this week, I will be looking to take some entries. Kind of similar situation with the Swiss pairs as well. I did get taken out of pound CHF. I was short this one on Friday. Did not play too well. We did see some nice momentum initially, but it just didn't get going. I liked how price was moving. We had one push up here, second push there, and a third push. And again, I was looking for that pattern to repeat and continue that momentum to the downside. Didn't quite happen. We stalled around here, and then price just shot to the upside there. So the plan is still the same, still looking for that move down. It just may mean that price wants to move a little bit higher before the move down. We're still generally speaking in my area over here, which is that brief doji there, and then price shot down for a lot of momentum. We're back in that same area. So again, looking for some sells around here. I was originally looking for sells up there and on the retest of this low. It's just that we're very, very far away, so I'm not too sure if we'll see a big enough pullback to get there. If we do, fantastic. I will look for the same thing. EuroCHF also has come into a nice area, so I'm keeping an eye on both of them. I might be leaning a bit more towards EuroCHF because I like the level a little bit more. But again, EuroCHF, pound CHF, very, very similar pairs. As we can see, big move to the downside, lovely pullback, very corrective in how the market is moving. Come back into a big low, would expect to see the market react here and possibly continue that that trend. But because we've just created all-time lows of EuroCHF, as in taking out the low here, not going to be so greedy with the shorts, because I would expect sooner or later a bigger correction to the upside. I mean, we took out the all-time lows, but we didn't do it in such fantastic style. I mean, we wicked through, and then as soon as we did that, we were looking very, very bullish. So it's not like price has broken through like it's done for some other Swiss pairs and carried on, like CAD CHF, for example, which broke through the low and really carried on. Euro CHF kind of just bounced at the low there. So it might mean that the shorts are a bit more temporary and that we could see a bigger move higher. So again, that's the beauty of trading stop loss. You don't know how far the trade is going to go, but it could be a big runner, or it could just be small reaction in your favor, and then price comes back and trails you out. But we shall see. All I know is that EuroCHF is in a really nice area. I like the way the market is moving. Just need to see some rejection in this area for an entry trigger, but nothing there just yet. Still pretty bullish, but that could come at any time. This next hour candle could close very, very bearish, or it could close very, very bullish. And again, when you're waiting for candle closures to take trades, all you're doing is waiting for the candle to close. So that's the beauty of it. Whilst the candle is live, whilst it's moving around, they're pretty irrelevant information to you because you have no idea how the candle's going to close until it does close. So for me, when I'm looking at hourly candle close, I've just got to wait for price to get to that hour close, and then I see what price is doing. If it's looking like an entry, take the trade. If not, we wait for the next hourly candle close. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on both of them. Aussie CHF I like as well. And again, with the CHF and the yen, it's pretty much the same trade. Both of them had crazy moves to the downside over the past couple of weeks. Now we've had a really nice pullback. So again, looking for some short opportunities. Podcasty, apologies for that. I've been very, very busy. I did have a look for your message, I think on Thursday or Friday. I didn't see it. But yeah, I haven't looked at my messages over the weekend. So yeah, I'll be sure to do that at some point today. I've been very, very busy. Is anyone looking at any dollar pairs? I'm still pretty bearish on dollar. Just waiting for an opportunity for it, especially on euro, which is very, very flat at the moment. So I'm kind of hoping we have another move down, because right now the price action is horrendous on the hourly. 4 hour, not any better. But yeah, drop into the DXY. I am expecting a drop on the DXY. However, yeah, I'll kind of say move up higher first. Manzondi, are you trading Euro USD, or you just want to see my view on it? But yeah, with the DXY, as I mentioned last week, this is still my area of interest where I'd like to short from. Well, not short DXY, but expect DXY to push into so I can long euro or long pound. So yeah, I've been looking for this move here since last week, and I'm still kind of hoping we can do it this week because the market is still very flat, very kind of sideways. It looks like it's waiting for a breakout in either direction. If it does break to the upside, fantastic. This is probably where we're heading. And then we can see how price reacts, and hopefully euro can do the same with a move to the downside. I've marked this level out here as a nice place we could push into and then possibly push away from. It's a very, very similar situation. Just need to see if it will happen, because very much so we could fall from where we are right now, which would be a little bit unfortunate. So yeah, but in terms of the bias, is definitely bearish. Market structure and price action hasn't been the best, but we have had a bit of direction as of late. So I'm just looking for that to maintain and continue, and eventually head back to the low here, 101. GJ will take a look as well. Okay, you are trading it, but with a lot of caution, just waiting for the upside. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, some people like to alter their risk depending on how the good opportunity is. I will be looking to explore with that because throughout my trading career, I've always been very consistent with my risk per trade. I always keep it the same, no matter the trade. But may start to look to experiment with increasing risk and decreasing risk depending on the quality of the setup. Especially when it's sometimes early in the week, because a lot of people don't like trading early in the week because that's normally when price was going to move in one direction to then move in the other. Because if you imagine a weekly candle, you're going to get the up wick, the bottom wick, and then eventually it's going to close. So normally that's when price is creating its first kind of top or bottom wick, depending which way the week is going to end. So some people don't like trading Mondays. I personally don't mind. If the setup's there, I'll take it. I've looked at my results, and there's not really much difference between the days of the week for me in terms of results. But then again, I don't really trade Mondays that often either. Most of my trades are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, so GJ will take a look. Patrick and Gold Forever. Harry, what is up? Pound Seat Chef, yes, we'll take a look. Let me just go through gold. Pound yen. So yeah, pound yen, I'm in a very bearish mindset with this one, looking for sales. The only thing with pound yen is that the areas which I would consider shorting from are still quite far away. I mean, first level's not too far, but definitely this one, especially if you're looking to short it this week. It's going to be a heck of a move for us to get up there to short this week. But this move, you could see that happen. A couple, 2-3 bullish days to get there. And maybe by Thursday, we're trading there and we could sell off, or even Wednesday even. But yeah, I'm waiting for price to come a little bit higher for pound yen because I'm not really seeing much value in price action down there. I like how pound yen is moving. We've had a really strong move down, and now price is taking its time on the way up. So this tells me this is probably just another pullback. Price being very corrective, and I do expect us to find a high somewhere, find a top somewhere, and make that move down. We've got a lovely support down here. This is our swing low. That would be, of course, where I do expect price to get to. If I go to the higher time frames, yeah, pound yen's had made a pretty big move down. So yeah, looking for a bit of a correction of that, find a high somewhere, and then yeah, expecting another drop. Just need to be patient. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at for pound yen at the moment. Let me know what you're looking for as well. Pound Seed Chef we'll take a look at as well. I forgot to look at Euro USD. So yeah, Euro, this is what I'm looking at. Push back into the high, keep it very, very straightforward because again, zooming out to the higher time frames, which is where I formulate my bias and the direction I want to trade in. Euro is slowly pushing higher, so I do expect us to see that higher low come into play and a big push up, similar to the DXY. I'm expecting that to give us a big push down. So I like how they're in sync quite well. And yeah, in terms of a trade, this is kind of where I'm looking to find some entries. Right now, we're kind of just sideways, so we could break out 50-50, up or down. Not going to talk too much about that because it's difficult to tell sometimes where the market's going to break out. Sometimes it's just best to wait for the market to break out and then do analysis and preparations for a trade. If we do break to the upside, then maybe there could be some trades on some pullbacks on the lower time frames, retesting some highs to take it to the upside. If we do have a break to the downside, then I'm looking at this kind of area here, next high low, and looking to take that back to the high. So that's what I'm eyeing up for Euro, but we will see how that develops. In terms of pound CHF, so yeah, pound CHF went over this briefly. Looking for moves to the downside. We're still trading in this area here. Brief doji there on the full hour. So price did pause here before a really nice move down. I'm still looking for pound CHF to get back into this low here, which we just missed out on. So I do think price is just having a bit of a breather and will eventually make its way back down to the level here. I have marked out some areas up here. If pound CHF was to get there this week, I think these are really great places to short from. It just depends if pound CHF has enough energy to get there in the first place. I mean, we're not too far away. Could see a couple days price push up, then the rest of the week we sell off. So there is that possibility, but the plan is really for pound CHF, massive drop to the downside, looking for a pullback of that move, full continuation back into the low. So really, really straightforward stuff with pound CHF. And I like that we still do have a lot of bearish momentum there on the left. So yeah, this bullish move to me looks very, very corrective. Most likely just a pullback for price to continue down. So we'll see what price does at this area. If we don't hold, or it's just a minor reaction and price goes and breaks through, then of course we're looking around 1.12 where we've got that lovely low there. And hopefully that will be the low that sends us to the downside. And the risk reward looks really, really good as well. Catch a nice short there. If maybe momentum starts to spill over like we did a couple of weeks ago, could be onto a really, really nice trade. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at for pound CHF. Hopefully that made sense. We'll take a look at Bitcoin as well. Dory, we'll take a look at pound NZD, no problem. The kindest YouTube I've ever seen. Stay blessed. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I'll take that title. Flip out gold. Okay, we'll take a look. One momento. Let me just have a look at Bitcoin. Okay, so yeah, Bitcoin, a bit of a down move here. Again, Bitcoin's kind of like in the middle of nowhere because I've been talking about this descending channel for quite a while with Bitcoin. And again, essentially the area of value for Bitcoin is up at the highs here or it's down at the lows here. Anything in the middle is always going to be difficult to predict of what price is going to do next, just because that's the area we fluctuate the most. At least here, we know it's either prices are going to break it or it's going to bounce. It's black and white. And so far, prices bounced every time we've been at this low. Bounce over there, second bounce, third bounce. And of course, we've done the same up high. So we had a bit of a bounce the past few days. Nice push up, but prices finding it a little bit hard at the middle of the range. So again, it looks like probably we're coming back to the low. And then again, we're going to judge price when we get there. Is it going to show some more wicks? Is it going to is that bearish momentum going to dissipate? If we're going to see that happen, then again, we're expecting to see another bounce. If we see a big bearish candle closing below, then we know we've probably got a breakout in our hands, and maybe Bitcoin's got a big move to the downside at that point. But we have to wait and see. I don't want to judge price too closely in here because, like I said, it's in the middle of a range. I don't really like to focus on price action when we're in the middle of a range because that's the maximum fluctuation you'll see. And yeah, it's difficult to predict what price will do next, but we are struggling there. So it looks like price will come to this low, but this is really where I want to focus and see how price reacts, and then make a decision whether buys look good or waiting for a breakout and then some follow through afterwards. But yeah, Bitcoin is looking a little bit bearish today, and yesterday on Sunday there. But you're kind of waiting for price to come back to the 52K area, and then we'll see what price has in store. How's Ethereum looking? Yeah, Ethereum not looking too hot either. We've got a massive level just above us here. Even if Ethereum does see some upside, it's going to take a lot of energy for us to go and break through 2850. And if we don't, we'll come straight back down as well. So yeah, it's not looking good for Bitcoin and Ethereum, I must admit. Hasn't done so for a while. But again, Bitcoin, crypto, they need that kind of external kind of hype to get the ball really rolling. When it starts to die out and plateau, that's not really good for Bitcoin, at least in the short term. Okay, so pound NZD we'll take a look at next. Gold we'll have a look see as well. Temo, what is up from Turkey? Wicked. Pound Aussie, yes, we'll take a look. Let me head over to pound New Zealand dollar. So yeah, pound NZD. I actually like pound NZD this week. I really do. I really do. We've had a really kind of stretched move to the upside, and price looks like it's just undoing all of that at the moment. It's not like price has had a big push up. We found support and we kept going. When price kind of has one big move and it doesn't kind of follow through, it's sometimes a big sign that it's kind of like a fake out. Not necessarily, but the move doesn't have much significance, and normally price just ends up erasing all of it. So I would expect this bearish move to keep going back to this area where it started from. So my bias short term is downside in pound NZD, and long term as well. We've come up to some big areas in the monthly chart, but I do think it is time for us to see a pretty big move down anyway. So long term, I'm pretty bearish. Of course, we're not really trading the monthly chart, but it's nice to know what your bias is and keep that in the back of your mind for now. And it's always a bonus if you can trade in that direction too. But even in the short term, intra-week, I'm expecting downside. This is the level I pointed out on my weekly analysis video. So I'm waiting to see if we can get there. And if we do, I'd anticipate some shorts. We've got a lovely high over there. Price dropped, lower low. Lower high there as well. Lower low. Looking for another lower high for another push to the downside. So that is the plan with pound NZD. Very straightforward. But the clarity comes with the clean price action. When things are very choppy and price is doing weird stuff, doing gymnastics, looking very complex, that's normally the time to kind of hold your horses and not try and force anything. It's the times when price is looking clear, clean, straightforward. That is normally the best time to trade because conditions are clear and the bias is clear. And that's what I'm getting with pound NZD right now. And as I mentioned earlier as well, it's kind of like a big head and shoulder pattern. Maybe not the cleanest one in the world, but you can catch my drift. Left, head, right, snap through the neckline. Now looking for a retest. So yeah, that's the bias for pound NZD. We may kind of drop without that test because we're looking really corrective right now. And we might just kind of drop. If that's the case, then yeah, that's the case. But if we can pull back one more time, that would be much appreciated. And then yeah, expecting a big move down and targets, roughly in this area here, because this is where we had a lot of build up, big break to the upside, haven't come back to revisit that same area. So yeah, this is where price could be attracted to. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for pound NZD. It's a pair that I do like as well. We'll take a look at gold next, and then we'll go through pound Aussie. If you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, please be sure to drop a like on the stream. It does really help out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. And of course, make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Appreciate everyone who has liked the stream as well so far. But yeah, with gold, so yeah, gold again. This one's been a bit difficult as well because I'm not really sure what price is doing with gold. Again, I am bullish bias because that's where my higher time frame. Again, my bias comes from the higher time frames, and higher time frames are still pretty bullish, even though we're seeing some signs the market is slowing down. You can see pretty evidently clear that the market is trending up. So that's where the bias comes from. Weekly chart, monthly chart, we can see that very, very clearly. As we drop lower to the daily, it becomes a little bit rougher. Again, daily chart, the trend is still very much up. We're still just about taking out the highs here. So the market is still slowly pushing up higher. Again, if we drop to the 4 hour, it becomes a little bit more choppy. And this price action here, pretty much a range, really. So yeah, with gold, I said last week, at the end of the last week, and on the weekly analysis as well, that you want to buy low. You want price to come to you in this situation, back at these areas here, where you can get a solid stop loss and really just be at the bottom of this kind of range, because trading inside of here just becomes really, really difficult, because that's where price is going to fluctuate the most. As I was mentioning earlier, inside of the middle of the range is where it's going to be the most difficult to trade. At least when you're at the extremes, at the low, at the high, it's black and white. Either price is breaking out or it's holding that level. So again, I said gold would be nice if we can see a test of this area, then plot some buys. But again, will price get there? That's another question. I'm not too sure if we will. Maybe gold might kind of just slowly push up back to the high. But then even if we do that, last time we're at the high, we rejected it very, very aggressively. So who's to say that we won't do that again? But yeah, I'm bullish on gold, expecting more upside. But from a trader's perspective, you kind of want price to be back at some lows. And then I can plot some nice buys there. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for, but I'm not too sure if we'll see that move. I'm not too sure if we'll see that move. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the price action on gold or whatsoever right now. Pound Aussie, we'll take a look at. Euro CHF, we'll take a look at. New Zealand dollar as well. Good morning, Lauda. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. My take on Euro X, I assume that means Euro USD, or you're just talking about Euro pairs in general. Anyway, let's take a look at Pound Aussie. So yeah, Pound Aussie again, Pound NZD, Pound Aussie, very, very similar pairs. So I would expect to see Pound Aussie, Pound NZD move in the same direction. However, Pound NZD just looks 10 times clearer to me. So that's kind of where my focus will be in terms of those pairs. I'm just kind of hoping Pound NZD makes that one move higher. Pound Aussie, I'm expecting a move down as well. You can see a massive rejection at the high there. I do think this will continue to fall. But in terms of the level which I would consider shorting from, it will be this low here. So I would at least want to see something like this happen with Pound Aussie, with Pound Aussie, but it's just not too sure if we'll see that move. I'm not too sure we'll see the move Pound NZD as well, but I think we've got a great chance with Pound NZD rather than Pound Aussie. But yeah, I would expect more downside for this one. I'm looking at some areas closer to the low here, but yeah, I wouldn't be so greedy with the move. It's just because Pound Aussie's had such a strong move up higher. We haven't really created much support on the way to the upside. So the next kind of major area would be this area down there, or you can kind of consider this brief area, which is where we're trading at the moment. But once we break through that, this will become the next area of value for me. So that's where I do see Pound Aussie ending up next. So yeah, would keep an eye on this around 1.95, and then yeah, expecting some shorts. But I've got a feeling we might kind of just drop. Okay, so hopefully that made sense on pound Aussie. We'll take a look at Euro, Swiss, New Zealand dollar next. What's up, Chisanga? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. No, I have not looked at pound USD. I will take a look at GU. Morning, Lesogo. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Dorcas, GR30. Okay, we'll take a look. No problem. So yeah, Euro Swiss and New Zealand dollar. I'll quickly go through those. So yeah, Euro Swiss I actually really like. It's on the watch list. I'm keeping a very close eye on it. It's back at a really nice level and it's starting to reject it. So I must keep an eye on Euro Swiss because I could actually look to take a position on this. But again, the plan was for Euro CHF this week, looking for a move back into the level here, prior low. Of course, return resistance. I like the way price has been moving to the upside, very corrective. So I do think a high is going to form for a push down. Again, Euro Swiss has created new all-time lows. It's come back into really, really strong support. So yeah, I'm not too sure if we're going to get all the way down there, but if we do, I mean, that'd be a great trade anyway. But I've got a feeling we probably will push down, form a higher low, and then at some point push up higher. But nonetheless, I'll be trading stop loss, trading my stop loss, so I'll be locking in gains anyway. But yeah, in terms of an area of interest, 0.948, exactly where we're trading right now, is looking like a really nice place for a sell. I like how price is moving. You're taking out the highs there, move down, taking out the high there, expecting a move down, at least back to support here. There's a world where we go a lot further, but we'll see. Take it level by level. But yeah, all I'm wanting to see is rejection here. Then I will look to take a position. Pound CHF is in a similar situation, but I prefer Euro just because it's coming to a big level. Pound CHF will coming back into this brief doji here, which is great, but Euro CHF is coming to a much stronger level. Pretty big move up. I like what I'm seeing. Just need to see an entry trigger. So yeah, we'll see how that kind of closes. It does close the next 19 minutes roughly. Could give me something. If not, we'll wait for the candle after that, which will close at 12 UK time. But yeah, in terms of a location, really nice place. And expecting to see a drop there for Euro Swiss. Okay, so Euro Swiss, New Zealand dollar. Not a big fan of this one. Not a big fan of this one. Just because I don't really know what we're doing in the higher time frames. Again, for me, a high time frame bias is really very, very important to me because that's where I get my bias from and decide which direction I want to trade in. When I do scan to the higher time frames on entity USD, I don't really know what price is doing. I mean, there is a slight bearish trend in the weekly, monthly chart. I mean, not slight, pretty clear downtrend. But I can tell that from about here-ish, the market has become incredibly flat. And we're not so bearish anymore. It's kind of more sideways. We could still eventually break lower, but it's more of a breakout rather than the trend continuation. And likewise, we could even break higher as well. So I'm not a big fan of how price is moving. I mean, we are still pretty consistent with the lower highs here. So I wonder if we do push back to resistance up here, we probably will react and see some downside. So if we get up there, I do like the idea of shorting. Again, we're pretty far away from that. I mean, there's a nice level here, but again, it might just be a shorter term reaction and then something like this happens. So yeah, when the high time frame bias is not clear, I want to stay away. Entity USD is not on my watch list. And I will go through my watch list at some point. But I did mention last week that this could be a nice place to short. Again, it might just be a shorter term move. Something like this, back at the high, take a short, and then we'll see what price does next. Maybe it pushes against you, maybe it breaks lower. But I think if you're looking for a move like this for a day trade, that could be a smart trade. If it does run further, you can always leave positions to run. But yeah, I'm not so confident with the longer term bias here. I like where we're trading. It's a nice level, especially with the breakout. But I would be a bit more cautious with NZUSD because, yeah, I'm not too sure on the higher time frames what the play is. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm viewing NZUSD for now. Anyway, so we'll take a look at GU next. Then we'll go to GR30 gold as well. Oh, okay, the Euro index. Okay. Euro index. I can't remember the last time I had a look at the Euro index. But we'll have a look. See, dollar suit chef. We'll take a look. 2 tunnel, no problem. William, trade plan for the week. Dollar yen or pound yen. Putting in alerts. Nice. Keeping things simple. Keeping things pre-planned. You don't wanna end up taking trades on pairs which you had no intention trading on. It's the times where you have a plan like, okay, I'm going to trade dollar yen. I'm going to trade pound yen this week. One of those two pairs. And then you just end up trading Euro CAD for some reason, and you end up taking a loss. That's the time where you deserve to give yourself a little slap there. But when you create a plan, create a bias, a trade idea, then all you need to do is just see out that trade idea. It might not set up, it might not give you a trade, or it might give you a loss or a win, but at least it's pre-planned, at least it's premeditated. Nothing spontaneous. But yeah, I'm in a similar camp as you. I'm not so focused on pound yen, but dollar yen, I like the shorts from that one. So I'm hoping for some entries on that one as well. Let me have a look at pound USD. So yeah, pound USD, I am looking for some upside because I'm pretty bearish on dollar. So I'm kind of looking at opportunities that favor that. So that's euro upside, pound upside. But at the same time for pound, it's just very difficult to long this one because we've been in this kind of bearish trend for a while here in the 4-hour. So it's been a little bit difficult to trade it in terms of finding some buying opportunities. Again, what I'll be waiting for is a big break to the upside. We've got the prior swing high over here on the left. This is the resistance price formed when it created that last lower high. So I kind of want to see price go and break through that to use that then as support to take price to the upside. That will tell me, okay, the trend is changing. Anything else, anything other than that, then yeah, price could melt. And even so, from here, we could probably see some downside. I mean, it's a pretty big wick rejection as we come back to the high. I wouldn't be too surprised if pound USD does make another move down and simply just continues that descending channel from last week as well. So if you are looking for more of a day trade, this could be a nice place for a short. Again, I'm not really so interested in shorting pound because I'm pretty bearish on the dollar. But from a technical perspective, this is a really nice place for a short. And we could definitely see price make another move to the downside. I'm waiting for the buys, which may or may not come. But that's the move I'm waiting for. That's the move I'm planning for. And if I am going to take a buy, it would be because price is broken above this area. And now I'm looking for that next higher low. And then, yeah, if that's the case, we're looking for a swing all the way back to the high there. But yeah, a lot of ifs and maybes if I'm going to get that trade. I mean, for now, euro looks a lot cleaner anyway. So my focus not really is on pound, it's on euro because euro's already made such a strong move up. We've got a lovely level of support just underneath us there anyway. So euro just looks a lot better. So I'm not really focused on pound, but if pound does make that move, then I will keep a close eye. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for on pound USD. If we do just hold that, likely move down. If we break out, then I'm looking for trades on the flip. Okay, so we'll go through GR30. Good old DAX. See what's cooking. Okay, so seen some upsides. Much needed after such a bearish move in the past few days. Did we reach that level there? Not quite, just missed that actually. So yeah, with the DAX again, I'm looking for price to go and put another high and another move down. I do think the DAX can still see another move lower. Maybe not to break the low, but again, something where we can just profit from. We don't need to see price, continue a massive trend for us to make a good profit. If we catch a high here and price just goes 50% on the way down, depending on your entry, you could still be looking at 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, maybe even 1 to 5, which are all really phenomenal trades. So you don't really have to place your take profit there for it to be a successful move. Sometimes you have to be a bit reasonable. But in terms of a location to keep your eye out on, it would definitely be the swing low here, just below 18,000. I love the way we're moving. We've had such conviction to the downside, and our price is moving very correctively. And that's your textbook impulse correction, impulse pattern. So looking for that to kind of continue a little bit higher into that level. And then, seeing what type of rejection we can get there. If things look good, that could be a really nice trade to the downside. Again, later on, we probably are going to form a higher low somewhere and start pushing up. Because if I do expand this to like the weekly chart, still a very, very bullish market. So, in my opinion, I still do think the DAX is still going to fly to the upside, back to the highs here and beyond. So I think the longer term move is very much bullish. But we just had such a big drop down. So I do think we'll find some resistance, make a move down, and maybe make the move later on. So that's kind of where I'm at with the DAX. So 18K, that's like a solid level for a sell. In terms of gold, I did go through this one earlier, so I'll quickly just run through it. But again, the conclusion is really, really choppy price action, finding it difficult to find a good opportunity. Again, the only thing I would be interested in for gold would be a move back down into support, which would be down around 2380, 2370. Then looking for a buy back into the high there. But you can see gold is finding it really hard at the high here. So even if we do push up, there's a good chance we could come straight back down, which really means that gold is in a range here. So although higher time frames are pretty bullish, if I drop to the weekly, there's a lot of momentum to the upside there. So that's where my bullish bias comes from. At the same time, we've got to show respect where respect is due, and price is finding it hard around 24.75. So that makes up for a really good take profit. And then we can see where gold comes from there. But in terms of a place for an entry, this is the area I will keep an eye out for. Anything else, not really interested. Okay, so we'll take a look at the Euro index, then we'll go through dollar seat chef. Appreciate that, Chisanga. Daniel, what is up? Looking for sales on NAS. What do you think of the level currently? Because it's quite bullish. Okay, we'll discuss NAS as well. All right, no problem, William. Have a good one, my man. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like and sub. Appreciate that. If you guys are enjoying the stream, do not forget to like and sub. Find it useful, informative, educational, entertaining, any of that. Please be sure to show some love, drop a like, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But we'll take a look at what's the Euro index called again? I haven't looked at this one in a very, very long time. Is it just EXY? I would assume so. I mean, the Euro index literally looks like Euro USD. I don't know if there's a cleaner chart for it. I don't know. I don't really look at the Euro index myself. But the Euro, if this is the Euro index, which I'm suspecting it is, I believe that's probably the last time I had a look at it, which was June 2022, which is 2 years ago. The the market looks exactly like Euro USD. So basically, looking for a move higher, because that is exactly my analysis on Euro. I mean, it's looking a tad bullish right now, and just kind of hoping we don't break high. I know someone is in a Euro trade right now, so for their sake, hopefully it does push higher. But for my sake, kind of want it to break down first before the buy, but we will see. Just being very, very awkward right now. Okay, so I'll go through dollar CHF, NAS as well. As know, I've been stopped out of the pound CHF trade. I've stopped out early hours of the morning, actually, before I woke up. Still looking to see if I can catch a high. I might be switching my attention over to Euro Swiss because it looks a little bit better than pound CHF. It's back in a nice area, seeing some rejection there. So I would expect a down move, but Euro's in a little bit better of a location. So I'm probably going to switch my focus to Euro Swiss. But again, Euro Swiss, pound CHF, very similar currencies. Both moves will either happen or not happen. We've got 5 minutes left of this hourly candle. Most likely it's probably going to close as a doji, which is not enough for me to take a trade, but it's a nice sign saying that, okay, momentum is slowing down. Had a pretty strong bullish move since the market's opened up. All of that momentum has dissipated, slowed down, we've seen some wicks. So those are all good signs to see, but now I want to see the bears come in strong and show me that they're back in town, and essentially that would be just a nice bearish engulfing candle. That would be my entry signal. But yeah, 4 minutes left, probably not going to get entry there, so I would wait for the next hourly candle now to see how that closes, and then if things look good, could base a trade from that. Stop loss above the high, and you got a nice first target there. You're probably looking at 1 to 3. Yeah, things go very, very well. Could see a swing all the way back to the low there. But yeah, we won't get ahead of ourselves, but that is a strong possibility. Anyway, so dollar CHF. Again, this is another one which I do expect to sell off. The only thing with dollar CHF, it hasn't really come into an area of value for me. Because again, this is another CHF pair. And I'm pretty bearish on the CHF pairs, pretty bullish on the Swiss currency. So dollar CHF is another one which I do expect to form a high somewhere. You can see we've been very, very consistent with it previously. There's your high, there's your lower high, there's your lower high there. Again, and looking for another one for us to make our way back to support. So the direction, the analysis is pretty clear, looking for that to happen. The only thing that's missing is just a strong level to short from. Like Euro CHF, we've got a lovely level to short from, which is that prior swing low, which is now has caused resistance. So it makes sense to expect a reaction. Whereas dollar CHF, a little bit middle of nowhere. I mean, there's this low here, which I highlighted. Still got a bit of a way to go. And I do like this level up here. But again, we still got a bit of a way to go. So the thing about dollar CHF is that we just don't have a solid level to short from. And again, it doesn't need to have a solid level to see some downside. But in terms of my trading, in terms of finding a plan that fits, finding a trade that fits my plan, I need to see a solid level to sell from, which I'm not seeing right now. But I am looking for this to happen. So that's the bias. That's the move I'm expecting this week. But if I'm going to trade it, I need to see a bit more upside. If not, then it's just not a trade for me. And I'm not too bothered anyway, because I'm looking to trade Euro Swiss. And, that's a Swiss currency in itself there. So I don't need to trade dollar Swiss and Euro Swiss. Just need to pick the better one. At this point, from a technical point of view, it's definitely Euro. So yeah, that's where my focus will be. But dollar CHF looking for a move down. We'll go take a look at NAS 100. So yeah, NAS 100, what do you say? Looking for sells. current level, but looking a little bit bullish. So yeah, it is slowly pushing higher. Definitely correct on that. It does look like we're just about pushing into the low here. Or have we just missed it? Nope, we just about hit it. So yeah, I would expect to see some downside from this area for NAS. Again, NAS is another one of those not currency pairs. NAS is one of those indices which is, again, I'm still very much bullish longer term. I do think we're going to push right back to the high at some point. But we do have pretty established bearish structure on our hands here. There's your low, there's your lower high, there's your low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So again, we're looking for that pattern to continue. Now, it may just be a slight move down for a bigger move up. We have formed a higher low here, and we've had formed a low there, a higher low there. Maybe price does just go and put a third one in. But again, this move down here could still be worth trading. Could still be worth trading before price does reverse against us. So with NAS, the only thing I don't like about it is we're kind of in an area where we could go bullish again. So I would be careful of that. But it just means you might be a bit more aggressive with your trade management. In terms of a place to short, it's in a really nice place for that. Coming back into the low here, you're right, we are looking a tad bullish, but that shouldn't put you off a trade yet. It just means no entry signal just yet. As things kind of develop, kind of just squeezing in this channel here. But I do think eventually we might push up, get a nice rejection. That can end up being a really nice entry for a short, and maybe catch a move down to some areas within there before price puts a higher low in and continues higher. So that's kind of how I would be looking at NAS. But you're right, we are looking a little bit bullish, but we'll see if that can change come New York session. If it doesn't hold and price just ends up breaking through, then maybe we are just putting that higher low in. Maybe it's probably best to be looking to change your bias around and look for some upside. But at the moment in time, we're coming to a really nice level, a really nice break of structure to the downside, a lot of momentum there. So yeah, I would just expect this to be a pullback, find a high, look for some short entries, take a move down. We may be putting a higher low somewhere. That's okay. And if not, best case scenario, price melts back to the low there. So yeah, that's kind of where I'll be with NAS. What's happening, Ben? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are good. What I think of gold, I don't think of much with gold, Ben. Not a big fan of the price action, I must admit. Not a big fan of the price action. Let me know if you have a bias or a plan with it. But my take on gold is that I'm still very bullish. That's number one. Higher time frames are still trending higher, still seeing higher highs in general. So my bias is still looking for buys, still looking to take gold higher. However, I'm struggling with an area to find which looks good enough to actually take a trade. I mean, I do have one. It's just I don't expect price to get there, which is back at the low here. So if price does get there, I will be interested. But price is looking pretty bullish right now, and I kind of would expect this to continue slowly back to the high there anyway. So yeah, I don't think price will come into my level. But you can see how price rejected that high so aggressively last week. That's not really a good sign there for gold. What we should have done was just took out the high, create a higher high, then had the pullback. And that will be a much more convincing, a lot more promising prospect than price coming into the high and just rejecting it aggressively. So that's why I want to buy so low, so I can stay away from the noise and place a good stop loss. But yeah, the plan is to see if we can get there, find a higher low or an equal low, and then trade it back into the high around 24.75. And then, yeah, hopefully we can get a breakout and price can rally. But We're still just about holding on to these higher lows on the daily chart. So yeah, so to me, everything is still pretty bullish, just a little bit choppy or rangy on the full hour. If we can hold above 200, I think new highs are imminent. Heavy news week. Okay, yeah. I actually need to go through the news. I haven't actually gone through it properly for the week. With the price, yeah. I mean, if we do have a big news this week, big news events this week, then we can just go double check. Then of course that will have a big part to play, especially with breaking that resistance at the high 24.75, because it might take some news, some events for us to break that high. But yeah, I do think the direction of gold is still up. It's just about finding trades in that direction, really. So yeah, news for today, not much. Yeah, nothing of red folder or high impact. Tomorrow morning, early hours of the morning, we do have some Aussie news there. Westpac consumer confidence. So we'll see what that does to Aussie. I'm not really looking to trade any Aussie pairs at the moment, so that shouldn't affect me. Pound, we do have employment change, unemployment rate at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, which is expected to go up. The employment rate is expected to go up, which is not good for pound. So that might mean some more weakness for pound, which means that the pound USD opportunity I'm looking at may not come into fruition. We might just see price reject the high and push down. Later on, what do we have? We've got German economic sentiment. Expected to go down, so not too hot there for Germany. Core PPI in the afternoon for dollar, so we've got a bit of dollar news tomorrow afternoon. That's expected to fall as well. Wednesday, core inflation rate for GBP expected to go up a little bit. So GBP is in the firing line this week. Then we got GDP and employment for Euro. Then you got CPI. Okay, so that's the big one. We've got CPI this week for USD at 1:30 UK time Wednesday. CPI is expected to fall as well. Inflation expecting to fall. Thursday, got GDP for yen, unemployment rate for Aussie, GDP for pound, retail sales for dollar. Yeah, there's quite a few news events. It's definitely a lot more busy this week than last week, but CPI is probably the big one this week for dollar. So yeah, that's definitely one to keep an eye out. But even there's some big ones for pound, unemployment rate, GDP. There's some big news for Aussie as well. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on the news this week. Last week was pretty tamed. I can't remember any big news we had last week. So yeah, keep an eye for that. Levon and the USD, we'll take a look. Curl. Yep, second that. Let's definitely have a successful week this week. But again, a successful week doesn't necessarily mean profit monetary wise. Of course, that would be great, but sometimes you could just take some great trades this week, but they just didn't play out. So you don't want to go beat yourself up over that. As long as you follow your plan to the best of your ability, no matter the result, you've done well. Of course, you would like it to be a profitable one, but that's not always the case. Favor, okay, oil, pound Aussie, CAD yen, we'll take a look as well. Looking for a break of the current levels and the retest for NZUSD. Okay, so I'm assuming you're looking for buys there, Levon. I'll have a look-see at NZUSD. So yeah, for NZUSD, this one is a bit tricky. Higher time frames, I am a little bit just neutral. I'm waiting for a bit more information. a bit more of a trend before I do kind of cement a bias for myself. On the lower time frames, like the 4 hour, we've had a really nice rejection off that low there, and now we're coming back into resistance. So I wouldn't really be looking for buys here. This is more kind of coming into bearish territory as we're coming to some levels around here, especially where all this momentum came from. So I did say on the low time frames, like the hourly, this could be a really nice place for a short if we do hold the high. And that could be a really nice target. I don't really have a longer term bias, long term view on NZUSD, so I wouldn't try and push trades too far. The only times I would look to push trades if higher time frames look very clear to me and the trend looks clear. If the trend isn't clear and the market's quite choppy, then I want to be a little bit more conservative for my take profits, or more aggressive with my stop loss management in terms of trading it, just because I don't really know where the market is going long term. So I don't really want to be in the market too long. But in terms of NZUSD, I like the level here, 0.60351. And this will be the next kind of major target I would keep an eye out for. In terms of buys, I'm not really eyeing up anything, at least at these prices. If it were to come further down, maybe, but this is more bearish territory for me as we approach some of these lows here. So yeah, not a big fan of the buys. Not that they can't play out, it's just the location. I wouldn't really want to look into buy. And again, depends on the time frame you're trading, because I'm a bit more of a swing trader. 4 hours, kind of the time frames I'm looking at. If you're looking like 15-minute, then of course you can get away with some buys because you'll be a bit more in and out. But to me, this is more like bearish location, so I wouldn't be looking for buys. Silver Antonio will take a look as well. Do I keep any stats on which days are your most? Yeah, I mean, I do have a journal software which I use, which calculates that for me. I use Edgewonk, so that does calculate all of that stats for me. Yeah, I mean, I don't really keep tabs on which of my most trade days. It's not something that I'm really focused in. I mean, my most traded days are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So in the middle of the week is where I do most of my execution. But again, it doesn't really mean too much really for me. It's more just, are those days successful? Are you trading correctly on those days? That's the more important thing. And are there any particular days where you're slipping up? That's the bigger query I would have with my trading. But my most frequent days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, so from a fundamental perspective, you're looking for either. Okay, if that's the case, that makes sense as well. I mainly stick with my technicals in terms of finding trades and executing trades. So from a technical perspective, I'm not the biggest fan of that. But of course, if you have a plan, if you have a reason looking for the trade, of course, I don't want to talk you out of a trade. See it through. Worst case scenario, you take a loss. As long as that loss is managed, losses risk is pre-calculated, and of course there's nothing to worry about there. Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday will be the most active for a lot of people, because a lot of people don't like Mondays. I know a few people don't like Fridays either. I don't really mind. I don't really mind what day of the week is. I don't really have. I mean, I think like Tuesday is probably my most profitable day. But yeah, I don't really have days where I stay away. Like if there's a good trade on Monday, I'll take it. If there's a good trade on Friday, I'll take it. But it just tends to be that during the middle of the week is where I see the most activity based on my trading plan and my habits. But I won't discriminate though. If there's a good trade on Monday, I will go for it. So yeah, that's kind of my take on NZUSD. Which pair? If I have missed that pair, just let me know in the chat. if I've missed out a pair someone has mentioned. If not, I'll go straight over to oil, pound, Aussie, and CAD yen. We'll take a look at silver as well, Antonio. BTC, yeah, BTC looking weak again. Not too hot for that one. I'll touch on BT in a bit more detail, but yeah, the fact that we haven't seen a breakout of that kind of consolidation / descending channel yet is not a good sign for Bitcoin. We should have broken out by now if price really does want to continue that trend. Might be going for a bigger pullback. Where's oil? So yeah, oil's just a little bit choppy these days as well. I'm not a big fan of oil either, because again, high time frames, I'm not too sure what the play is. Price is kind of squeezing between the high and the low. At one point it looked like price was breaking out to the downside, but then last week's candle we broke back inside the range. So again, I would expect to see now continuation back to the high, but at the same time we could come straight back down and complete and continue doing that until we finally get the breakout. So that's why I'm not really so excited about the oil price action, because it's just more of a range than anything. But yeah, we are rejecting that low pretty well. We closed back inside that level of support. So naturally, I'll be expecting oil to push on now to the upside. In terms of an opportunity to trade it, not really seeing a good one unless we break above all of this noise, all of that, and probably find some entries on the back of that. That could end up being a nice trade, because yeah, I'm not really seeing anything else really. Because of course we rejected the low there. But yeah, that would be the next area of value. And then yeah, expecting a push back to the higher end. But yeah, with oil, I must admit, price action is not great, but based on that rejection, I would be bullish now for the next week or two, at least until we push closer to around 82. And then we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, that's what I'm favoring for oil. Yeah, of course you can't survive without a plan. Of course. Whatever your plan is, made out of, the only duty a trader has is sticking to that plan. Even if the plan is awful and the plan is horrid, at least you have the ability to stick to it. Because then if you do stick to the plan and you're not seeing the results you want, then you know it's the plan that has to change and has to improve. At least when you don't stick to your plan, then you have no idea if it's the plan's if the problem lies with the plan or the problem lies with you. So at least you can, X off. Okay, it's not me. I'm sticking with the plan. I'm doing what I said I'll do. Now I need to assess: is the plan profitable? And if you have a good plan already, then you're sorted. Just got to stick with it. Tony Gold, Aussie CAD, New Zealand CAD. We'll take a look at those pairs as well. What motivated you to become a trader? Good question. Initially, it's the freedom aspect of trading, not necessarily the amount of money you can make, but just the fact that I could be anywhere in the world and trade, and it's all based on my own merit. So, I could just stop trading this week if I wanted to. I could take today off if I wanted to, or I could just, go wherever I can go to the other side of the country. I can go to Paris, I can go to wherever, and still do this exact same job consistently. All I need is my computer, my Wi-Fi connection. So that to me was very, very appealing, because every other profession, you always have to be in a certain location or a certain wherever, and the certain confinements you have with any other profession. But with trading, it's very, very flexible. So to me, that is a really, really, really big thing, because life happens, a lot of things come in your place. Sometimes you need to change your schedule, and trading allows you the luxury of training your schedule if things come into play. So yeah, that's the most attractive thing to me about trading. What's up, Tony Gold? Hope you well. Okay, so we'll go through pound Aussie, CAD yen, and silver. So yeah, pound Aussie, as I mentioned earlier, I do like this one to the downside. I just like pound NZD a little bit more. So I'm not really focused on this currency pair because pound NZD and pound Aussie are very similar pairs anyway. And they make the same move 80, 90% of the time. So pound NZD, I'm hoping we can have one more push higher back into this level here, catch a short on that level, see some downside. That will be absolutely brilliant. With pound Aussie, I'm looking for something similar as well. Retest the low and continue down because we had such a big rejection on the daily chart. I do think that all of this bullish momentum we've seen over the past few days is just kind of going to get erased and price going to come straight back down to the origin of that move where it all started from. So I do think we're just going to slowly roll over. So the plan is just to look for your lower highs and short them really. Next best place would be the retest of that low, but I'm just not too sure if we get there. Maybe if we do end up just bleeding to the downside, this could end up with another opportunity on the retest of that low. So maybe keep an eye on that. But of course, we will stay up to date with the price action as the week continues on these live streams. So, if that is the case, I will start to mention that more and more. But at the moment, this is the opportunity which would interest me. And pound NZD is a very similar opportunity there as well. But yeah, I do think we'll just kind of continue going down. So the bias is definitely bearish. In terms of where is that? In terms of CAD yen, again, looking for a short for this one. A couple of areas I have mentioned in the past week or so. This area being one, and this area being another one. If we could see price push into one of these areas, I would expect to see some downside. We've just about tapped that area last week, but we haven't seen much of a reaction. So I'm expecting us to get a little bit more stuck into that level, see a deeper test, and then maybe we catch some shorts, maybe after price takes out these highs there, because there will be a lot of stop losses above the high there from last week. So we could look to go and run them, test the level and a bit more, test the level a bit more deeper, and then get the reaction. So I would keep an eye on that for CAD yen. But at the same time, we could have a much bigger correction, and 110 looks really good as well. It just depends if we've got enough juice to get all the way up there. But again, the idea is very much the same for all of these yen pairs, looking for a high to then short, because I'm expecting all of these moves to be very, very, very corrective, which they are. And that does tell me there's a good chance we will form that high at some point and see some downside. So that's kind of what I'll be looking at for CAD yen. But yeah, on the higher time frames, you still do have such a big drop from the previous month. Weekly chart, pretty big move there as well. We're trading at some big levels of support. So hopefully we get some retracement from that. And then, yeah, expecting price to come straight back down. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with CAD yen. We'll go through Aussie CAD, New Zealand CAD next. I'll quickly mention Bitcoin. Tetelestai, we'll take a look at EuroCAD. It's been consolidating on the hourly. I think a lot of Euro pairs have been consolidating because Euro is consolidating, or I mean, last time I checked it was. And yeah, still mainly the case as well. So yeah, Euro just a little bit all over the shop right now. So yeah, not moving particularly well. Anyway, we'll take a look at Bitcoin. So yeah, Bitcoin, Yeah, Bitcoin, the only areas I'm kind of focused on or will comment on is the lows of the channel or the highs of the channel. In the middle, that's kind of where we've got the most fluctuation, and it's the most difficult to predict what price is going to do next. At least when we're at the lows, I know, okay, we're either going to bounce or we're going to break through. Same thing with the top. We're even going to bounce to the breakthrough. When in the middle, we could look bearish for a little bit, push up, look bearish again, push back up, come back down. It's very, very difficult just to predict those highs, or at least where they're going to form anyway. So yeah, with Bitcoin, we are looking to add a little bit bearish now. So maybe that might take us back into the lower end of things. We'll have to wait and see. But really where I want to judge price is down at the lows or up at the highs. So if Bitcoin does make a move down, let's see how things are looking. Are we throwing some more wicks in like we've done previously, over there, over there, over there? Or are we seeing big candles closing below? If we are, then that could be the beginning of a really big move down for Bitcoin. Likewise, to the top, if we start committing to the upside, then maybe we're going to be in a big move up higher. But for now, yeah, it's not looking too hot. But we'll see what price does at the low, and then I can start to put an idea forward of what I'm looking for Bitcoin going forward. But right now, just want price to reach some areas of value, which is the lower end or the upper end of that channel, and then I can look at it in a bit more detail. But in the middle, I'm not too interested with price really. Okay, where was I? We'll go through Aussie CAD, New Zealand CAD. I forgot silver, didn't I? We'll take a look at silver as well. And then Euro CAD. Favor, how many trades do you take per week on average? Well, this year, I'll probably average about 2. Yeah, maybe a little under 2 actually. Last year was probably around 3, I think. Maybe just under 3. Yeah, this year I've averaged a bit less. I've been a lot more busy this year, to be honest. So that has played a factor in. But then again, the conditions last year were a lot better than this year as well, especially the first 6 months. It's starting to become a lot better now, but the first 6 months of this year weren't particularly great at all. So that definitely played a big role. But yeah, last year, just under 3, and I think so far this year just under 2. Okay, so let me go through silver before I forget again. So yeah, silver. So silver, we're coming into an area where we could see a move down. I'm not particularly bearish on silver, at least on the higher time frames, but on the full hour, we have done a pretty good job at forming some lower lows and lower highs and seeing some really nice bearish momentum. So as we do push up, especially coming back into this area here, this is looking like a nice place for a short. And you can look at some of these areas for targets, and you've got a nice little low there as well. Depends how far you want to push the trade. Now, like I said, I'm not really bearish on silver because I think the bigger move is to the upside at some point. But I can definitely see that price has been pretty bearish for a while, and we've been very consistent with this bearish momentum and the lower lows and lower highs. So for now, I'll still be looking at some shorter term sell opportunities, but well aware that we might find support at some point and start looking very bullish. If silver was to break to the upside and take out this high here on the left, then I'll be looking for buys again on silver, because at that point we broke a structure. I'm looking for the higher low now, and then a big move up, and then probably back to the high is probably the move. But we haven't done anything like that move just yet. So I would still be looking at sells, since that's where all the momentum lies as well. So yeah, I would be keeping a close eye around 28, where we're coming into now. I think that's a nice place for a short. And you've got a few places there to look at on the lower time frames in terms of targets as well. But yeah, silver downside looks pretty good. Okay, so I'll go through Aussie CAD, New Zealand CAD next. What's up, Nkeba? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Curl, what's your favorite pair you trade mostly? Again, I don't really have a pair which I would look to trade, but my best performing pair is pound USD and pound yen. Those are my best two performing pairs. But generally speaking, I do like to trade the majors. If there's a trade opportunity on the major currency pair versus a minor one, I will look to take the major one. Because they're just a bit cleaner sometimes and they move a little bit better sometimes as well. So yeah, I would say my most traded pairs are the majors, but a specific pair, my best performing is GU and GJ. Okay, so Aussie CAD, New Zealand CAD. So yeah, not pairs which I'm a big fan of. I think I prefer New Zealand CAD a lot more. But Aussie CAD, I was touching on this one last week. I was talking to how that we're moving in this descending channel here, but we have kind of broken out of that now. So that's kind of changed the game a little bit with Aussie CAD. I mean, this could be a high low. One over there, second over there, and we could be seeing a third one over there for another push higher. Probably back to the high there as well, but I'm not sold on that just yet. I want to see more of a bullish trend form, and then I'll look for some opportunities on the back of that. So something like this would be interesting because we are forming these higher lows here, but we're not really committing yet. So something like this could be a nice little trade to the upside. Again, nothing crazy like a push to the high, but let's say we create a higher high, a pullback, a push back to the high will make sense. So yeah, Aussie CADs, I would like something like that. Entity CADs, I'm still pretty bearish on, but I think, yeah, I'm still pretty bearish on as long as we can hold that high. If we do go and break through, then I would be looking at something similar to Aussie CAD. So if we do end up breaking through, then that becomes a nice level there to buy from and take it to the upside. But at the moment, I'm pretty bearish. The only thing I don't like is that we're coming in for a fourth time. If this level was going to hold, we should already, sold off by now. It's very, very rare to see price keep bouncing a level, then eventually fall. It's normally first, second, maybe a third attempt. Then it's fallen over. Fourth attempt, not a good sign. So you might actually be seeing price go and do that, respect the level, and then a continuation. So with entity CAD, keep a close eye on the high. Same with Aussie CAD as well. Keep an eye on that high. If we do go and break it, then you're looking at something like this. And then, yeah, some upside. Let me know what you're looking at on those two particular currencies. There goes Miko butchering. Yeah, I do. You're not the only name which I would that I butcher. There's a lot of names. Have to add it to the list, but I do try. And yeah, I was going to try and pronounce it again, but I don't want to make it worse. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I do mean well, but yeah, sometimes sometimes I will butcher someone's name. I mean, if you try and spell it out how it sounds. Then I'll try again, but yeah, I'm not the best with names. Okay, so I'll quickly go through. Okay, so I'll go through Euro Canadian. Again, if I have missed out a pair, let me know. Making your Monday good. At least I'm least I'm getting some laughs on the Monday. Not many people like Monday, so just tag along on the stream and hope you get a laugh. Okay, so we'll go through Euro Canadian. So you said that one is consolidating on the hourly chart. Let us take a look. Damn, that is a consolidation. That is very sideways. So yeah, when conditions are like this, the best thing to do is just kind of hold back and not do anything. Because you can imagine there'll be a lot of people just buying here and selling in there because they're thinking it's going to go down and go up. I have no idea what the market's going to do. It's literally 50-50 here, really. Someone buying here may just be lucky, and someone selling may be lucky, or vice versa, really. But I really wouldn't do anything there. The past few days, we've been looking for the market to come down, and we have done so pretty well. I do like the area over here for EuroCAD, so that's kind of where I'm waiting for price to get to. So for my sake, I would want price to continue breaking down and continue falling. Anything else, I'm not really interested in, really. This would be the only level which I'll look at, 1.49. Yeah. But yeah, you're 100% right. Price is just moving sideways with EuroCAD, but this is the level that looks good in the higher time frame, so that's why I see price moving towards. We had a nice bounce there previously, so hopefully you can repeat that. And then yeah, looking to take a push higher up. But yeah, I wouldn't touch on the hourly right now. You know, let other people mess around there, buying, selling that mess. You know, you just kind of want to wait for price to come to you. Because at the end of the day, it is you versus you as a trader, but at the end of the day as well, it's you versus everyone else that's in the markets at the same time. Because not everyone can make money, which is an unfortunate truth. You know, money's got to flow from one place to another. So for people to make money, there also needs to be people losing money. So you have to make sure that you're trading from a place of patience, a place of discipline, and intelligence as well. You know, let people fight over the scraps in there, and all you need to do is just wait for price to come to you. Ben, yeah, Chelsea movie mad in the transfer. I know, and I have no idea what is going on there. At this moment, I might be signed to Chelsea. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, they're doing absolute weirdness. I mean, I don't even rate it, to be fair. I mean, I like it because getting new faces in there, but it's almost like too much. Yeah, too much of anything's bad, and I feel like that's what Chelsea are doing. Kind of just waiting for the transfer window to close so they can't make any more signings. But to be fair, I'd rather them be making too many signings than not enough. So at the same time, I won't complain too much. Okie dokie. So yeah, in terms of my watch list, I haven't actually gone for my watch list yet. If I have missed out a pair, just let me know. I feel like I have missed out on someone's pair. If that's the case, drop it in the chat. No harm, no foul. But in terms of what I'm looking at, it's pretty much the same for the past couple of weeks now. Yen pairs are looking at more downside, but in particular, dollar yen looks good. Euro yen looks good. Aussie yen looks good. GJ looks decent. It's just very far from my next available level to short from. So I'm just not too sure if I'll get it. Maybe you'll do. But yeah, I like Aussie yen a lot at this area which we're trading at now. And if that doesn't hold, I do have a level just above us over there. For dollar yen, I like the area just above us there. If not, we've got one over there. For euro yen, we're trading at one now. And again, if not, we've got one over there. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at from the yen pairs. In terms of the dollar pairs, Euro USD buys look really, really good. I'm hoping we can get a nice little retest of this level here and then some buys later on. And a push back to the swing high over there. Pound USD, I'm looking for a big break higher, but I think Euro looks a lot better, so I think I'll just focus on that for now. Other dollar pairs, USD CAD, not really interested in. New Zealand dollar, not really interested in. Aussie dollar, no. Gold, silver, not really. CAD pairs, not really either. Pound NZD, yes. I do like pound NZD on the retest of that low. Other ones, UNZD, no. I mean, UNZD, if it has a nice drop, then I'll add it to the watch list, but I need to see momentum through this low, and then I'll look for something like this. But that's a big if. Euro pound, no. Aussie dollar, no. Euro CHF, yes. And it's actually trading in a level right now. So if I do take a trade, it will be on Euro Swiss because it's in my level. It's rejecting the level. Just need to see some follow through, and then that will be my entry trigger. But already seeing price, give us some wicks there. Just need to see a nice bearish engulfing candle, and that will be my entry. So yeah, Euro CHF looks good. Pound CHF looks good as well. I'm looking for another re-entry, but then again, if I do take Euro Swiss, I'm not going to take Pound Swiss as well. So it's either or. But then again, I think Euro Swiss looks better anyway, so I'll just focus on that one for now. And I do like Aussie CHF as well at this low here too, but again, I think Euro CHF takes precedent. And yeah, that's kind of my watch list for now. Not a lot of dollar pairs, only one really, unless pound gets a move on. And yeah, few CHF, few yen, because that's where the momentum lies. So I'm not trying to do anything else other than that. Yeah, exactly. Too sporadic, just looking to sign anyone. It feels like that, to be honest. Because even Pedro Neto, which we just signed a couple of days ago, like there was no real talks of Pedro Neto before that, or at least in publicly. And then suddenly we just sign him. I mean, he's a great signing in my eyes, but it's just like it feels like it's just done it spontaneously. Really, I'd rather like it's planned and then you do it because then you know what you're doing. I feel like we're just buying anyone who's interested in football, really. Yeah, I agree, Ben. I agree. I agree as well. Patience is very, very important, and I was touching a lot on patience. Um, Patience. I think it was last week, but yeah, patience is very, very important. And I was making the valid distinction between patience in terms of waiting for a good opportunity that arises and waiting for that to then take a trade, or just being patient for the sake of being patient. Because I've done that before many times, just being patient, just because patience is a good thing to have. But then you be patient, you wait 3, 4, 5 days just to take a rubbish trade. There's no point of waiting that long just to take a rubbish trade. It's got to be patience with a meaning. Them yennies all looking grizzy. I like the term yennies. But yeah, I like the yen pairs for now. Yeah, very, very true. No, mate, that's 100%. That's 100% correct. That's 100% correct. Because if you think about it, trading is a balance between winning money from the market and losing money to the market. Because there's no trader out there who's just only winning. Everyone's going to be winning some, losing some, winning some. So profitable trading really is that when you make a bunch of money, you just don't lose all of it. You lose maybe a third or a half or even 2/3 of that money. And you go again, lose another 2/3, and then you go again, lose another 2/3, and you can see your equity curve is pushing up. And at this moment in time, you're profitable, you're making money. All you need to do is just tweak and refine and try not to lose 2/3, maybe lose a half, and so on and so on. But that is profitable trading in a nutshell. It's just winning money and then just not losing all of it in the next few trades which you give back. And yeah, sitting on your hands is going to be a great skill to learn, because a lot of people will make some money and then just give it all back in the next few trades. And then you're starting from zero again. And if all your trades are of good quality, then it's difficult for you to give all your profits back, because you're waiting for confluence, you're waiting for the stars to align before you take a trade. So probability is naturally going to be in your favor anyway. So you take that trade enough times, the equity curve will take care of itself. But it's a very, very important note. I mean, psychology plays a massive role in trading, but I think psychology and your technicals come hand in hand, because the more confident, the more sure you are with your trading skills, the better your psychology will be for it as well. But then again, everyone has their kind of issues and tendencies to work on. Some people are a bit more greedy than others. Doesn't really matter how good the technicals are. Sometimes they're just a bit greedy, take too many trades or too big of a position size. Some people are a bit fearful, almost waiting too long to take a trade. So yeah, everyone will have those internal battles to fight as well. Yeah, that's true as well. That's true as well. Yeah, I mean, I think it just goes back to attracting, um, attracting what you're seeking, really, because a lot of people want to make money, and therefore they try and grind for that money. And the thing is, grinding is good, but it's just trading is not the place for that. Trading is not the more you do, the more you make. Maybe the more you do behind the scenes in terms of preparation, yeah. But in terms of actively placing trades, that's not the case, because the more trades you take, the more opportunity you give the market to take your money. So yeah, if you're trading from a place of you know of prosperity, of abundance, then the success will slowly come to you. But if you're trading from a place of desperation, you're trying to force things and chase things, then yeah, it's not gonna go to plan. But yeah, a big point there. Because of course you think by doing nothing in the markets and just waiting, you're not actually doing anything productive. But it's actually the opposite is true. But yeah, I can talk for hours and hours on that topic. It's very, very interesting, really, because it's not just trading as well. It's in life in general. But I think like trading highlights it the most. And it all stems around money as well, which makes it difficult, because it's not like a video game where whatever you do doesn't really mean anything. If you do phenomenally well in the markets, you make a bunch of money, change your life. So there's that emotional tie to it as well. Yeah, that's the mentality you want to have. The results, the money is a byproduct of your decisions. Excuse the answering machine. But yeah, the way to it is to make sure you're in a place of abundance, a place of calmness, and then you just making sure you're taking the best trades you can find, because anything other than that is not going to end well. And also, I want to highlight as well that you're not always going to be 100% every time you take a trade or every time you're on the charts, because you will fluctuate. As life continues, things will happen in your life, that are unforeseen, that will affect your level of the your mindset in the chart. So there'll be some periods in the year where you're in a really good tip top shape and everything is going well and your mind's in a good place and you're trading well. And there will be times where you're not in a good place. And at that point, your trading's probably going to suffer a little bit. So at that point, just from a mental perspective, you want to kind of dial back your trading and hold off a little bit. And that's just completely natural. Everyone will go through that. Even the best traders will experience that a little bit. Maybe not as much as everyone else, but they'll experience that dip in focus and in concentration. Because we're all human at the end of the day, so we're going to make blunders, mistakes, but it's about keeping them to a minimum and not letting those mistakes bleed into your trading account. And what 5 items do you check off the list before you place a trade? Well, I don't really have 5 that I would take off, but my non-negotiable is solid level of support resistance, which I'm going to buy or sell from. Then I normally look for either 1 or 2 other confluences. But the process I take before I take a trade is very much higher time frame direction, so which way I'm trading in terms of the trend. So that's kind of like a box, if you will, that I'll tick. And then I'm looking for the 4H. I'm looking at levels of support resistance. I'm looking at confluences in that time frame. So that would be my fib. That would be my trend lines. That will be wicks on that time frame as well. And then drop to the hourly for entries and for shift momentum. So, for example, if I go through Euro Swiss, so Euro Swiss on the higher time frames, clearly we've got a bearish trend in the market. So I'm predominantly looking for selling opportunities. Dropping down to the 4 hour, I can see that price has come back into a lovely level of broken support, which now turn resistance. So that's my level of interest. I can see prices starting to reject that area there as well. And if I whip out the Fibonacci, I'm pretty sure we're in that 0.618786 area. Not quite, but in the middle of it. And then if I drop to the hourly, and I'm looking for reactions there, which hasn't come around yet, but that will be the last piece of the puzzle, really. If I can see a nice bearish engulfing, and that will be what I'm looking for. And I also tend to look for price to be at a high or at a low when I'm taking a trade on the hourly chart, which this is. We're just taking out some highs there as well. So we've created the fresh high there too, which is always a good bonus as well, because it means we're likely to push down. And then I'll be trading from there in and out. But yeah, the main thing I'm looking at is direction and location. Am I trading in the right direction? And am I trading from a good location? So am I buying, selling smart areas? If I can tick those boxes, then all I'm waiting for is an entry signal. But yeah, a lot of my thinking is because every trade you take is unique. It's not the exact same trade. But of course, the planning and the confidence you're looking are what's on repeat. But a lot of my thinking nowadays is just weighing up the pros and cons of the market and weighing up the situation, how things are looking across different time frames, then making the decision if that is high quality enough for a trade for me to take. So there'll be trades that fit the same plan, but just because of some reason, I may not take the trade because it's not of a high enough quality for me to take the trade, and then of course I won't take the position. But yeah, I don't want to have the plan to be too complicated or too many boxes to check. I want it to be pretty straightforward and let my discretion and my experience be the decisive factor whether I take the trade or not. Yeah, very true. Certain things in the world are easier said than done. Patience is one of them. Yeah. I feel like once you cross that line, I feel like because patience for me is almost second nature. Is almost second nature at this point. Of course, that wasn't the case at the start, but I think also my personality helps. I don't like to get into the personality um, debate, but I think just generally that's the type of person I am anyway. But once I kind of really understood my style and my strategy, being patient kind of just clicked into gear. Um, Again, I'm not 100%. Sometimes I do take a trade which I look back in hindsight and say, did I really need to take that position? Again, I will journal that and write that down. So it's not perfect, but generally speaking, my patience is pretty good just because I know exactly what I'm looking for. If you know exactly what you're looking for, the patience will follow, because if you know exactly what you're looking for, you're not going to do anything besides that. Therefore, you will be patient, um, or at least it will help massively. Sure, you still have to deal with fear and greed and all of that stuff, but it just makes your life a lot easier once you know exactly what you're looking for. What's up, King City? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. Anything you're looking at today? By the way, guys, if you have enjoyed the stream, please do smash the like button. If you are enjoying it, find it useful, do hit the like button and do subscribe to the channel as well. And make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. That's why I love the channel, because they're helping very much with patience. Good, good, good. Good to hear. I mean, I feel like that's one of my strengths, really. Yeah, that's definitely one of my strengths, and definitely something which I try to preach about as much as I can on the channel as well, because I know how much it's helped me out. Because there's so many times where I look at a market and be like, oh, that could be a trade, but I just don't take it because it's just either not a part of the plan or just not a good enough trade. And if I took all those trades which I saw, which is like, oh, that could be a trade, I'll definitely be losing money, or at least I'll be break even. It's really the trades that you don't take which kind of keep you profitable, because once you've kind of been trading for a couple of years, maybe 3 years, you can get onto the charts and spot a good opportunity when it does arise. Looking for a good opportunity isn't too particularly hard once you know what it is. And again, that can only take maybe two or 3 years. You kind of get that embedded in your brain. You know exactly what you're looking for. But it's everything you do in between, which is what Ben mentioned earlier. You take a good trade on Monday, you take a good trade on Friday, but then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you took 7 rubbish trades. So what's the point of taking a good trade on Monday and a good trade on Friday if you're going to take 7 rubbish trades during the week? You might as well just not have took those 7 rubbish trades, but took the Monday, took the Friday. And again, when I mean good trade on Monday and a good trade on Friday, I don't mean that the trade worked. I just mean it was a good trade in terms of the technicals, in terms of fitting your plan. And a lot of people will take the good trade on Monday, take the good trade on Friday, but like I said, take the 7 bad ones during the week as well, and then finish the week in the red, and wonder what happened. Can see you holding gold for about a week or two, 2386. Okay, so I'm assuming you're long on gold. Where is gold? There we go. 2386. Okay, so it's around here somewhere. Oh, looking good, looking good. I mean, I'm also looking for a buy, but unfortunately, I think it's left me behind there. Unless gold is nice enough to come back down and test support. Not too sure if we will, but yeah, I'm kind of expecting gold just to slowly make its way back to the high there, and then I'll see what gold does next. If we can break through, that'll be interesting. I feel like opportunities on the back of that could look good. But yeah, I'm not really interested with price at the moment where we are. If it comes down, then yeah, I could be interested. But yeah, really nice move there. So hopefully, I would assume you're targeting the high there, King C. targeting the high 24.75. I mean, I'd expect price to get there. We do have a bit of news this week, so we might kind of fluctuate. It might not be the smoothest ride there, or it could be a very smooth ride if it's positive for gold. But yeah, gold is just a little bit choppy these days, so unless it comes to support, I'm not interested, but I would expect the bulls just to drag price higher. What's your take on algos, bots? Are these machines reliable? Probably not the ones you just buy for like $100 online somewhere. Because again, the thing about algos and bots and then the machines is they're very systematic as they do the same thing again and again and again. And one of my skill sets as a retail trader is my discretion. It's my ability to think on the spot and saying, okay, this does fit the plan, but I can see that this is just a lower quality trade setup because of X, Y, Z. Therefore, I'm not going to take the trade, or I'm going to lower my risk on the trade. Or I can see that this is a really good trade, so I'm going to increase the risk or whatever. Yeah, I have the ability to decipher between trade setups, whereas a machine would just say, okay, it fits X, Y, Z, so take the trade. X, Y, Z takes the trade. So the thing about that is that it has to have mathematically proven edge over a wide range of data, and I'm talking like a decade at least, for you to say that this bot is reliable. Because if you test the bot for like 6 weeks and it performs well, it just performs well for that 6 weeks. The next 6 weeks could be absolutely horrible. And even if you test it for 1 year, 1 year could be good. Next year could be absolutely horrible as well. So you need to have a wide range of data for it to be reliable. And it needs to be, tested very heavily as well for it to be reliable. And if that's the case, you're not going to buy it for $100 because anyone who's done the time and the work to develop that is not going to sell that bot for $100. It's probably like a few thousand, probably a lot more, because the more bots you have of that, the more algos you have of the same algo, the less profit will be going forward, because it's doing the exact same thing. So if it has a lot of people using the same bot, then it's going to be less effective. So really, if someone's got a really good bot, they probably wouldn't sell it. Probably wouldn't, or just have it a few people using it. And if they do sell it, they're going to charge a lot of money. So yeah, if you can buy one for a lot of money, then that's probably reliable. But anything else, no, unless you test it yourself. All right, Lauder, have a good one. We'll catch you tomorrow. Okay, aiming back at the high, see if gold can break through. Yeah, I think gold can break through. I think it's a matter of when. But yeah, hopefully we can. Yeah, exactly. If someone is profitable, they won't be selling it. Yeah, exactly. Because it does the same thing. So if you copy and paste that bot, it's going to be doing the exact same thing, and it's going to ruin the effectiveness of that bot. Because I know from a personal experience, if I had a bot that's making good money, I'm just going to let that run, really. Because the amount of money I can make from the bot versus selling it, it wouldn't add up. I would make a lot more just using the bot rather than selling it. So yeah, the ones you buy like for $100, $50 here, they'll be useless. They might have a little bit of luck with them, but long run, I won't see them as being profitable. But anyway, guys, we have reached the end of the stream. I will be live again tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. As always, if you are free those times, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UK time, please be sure to check out the streams. Yeah, please be sure. If not, you will be dearly missed. But otherwise, guys, have a great day. If you have enjoyed the stream, please be sure to drop a like if you have enjoyed it, found it useful. Make sure you do hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. It does really help out the channel. And of course, make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss on any streams or uploads in the near future. Make sure you check out the Discord channel for Elevating Traders, completely free to join at the top of the chat. You can't miss it. There'll be discount opportunities there close to launch, and of course, joining discussions about different trade ideas as well. So make sure you check that out. And a Telegram is linked in the description as well. Anyway, guys, appreciate everyone coming on. Thank you to my moderators as well. And of course, everyone else for tuning in and chatting with me. Do appreciate it. Appreciate it. Like I said, I will be live again tomorrow, so I hope to see you all there. If not, take care, have a good one, and I'll catch you all in the next stream.